Hello and welcome to Peaceful Rebellion. Well, today we're here with Istvan. Hello, Istvan. How are you?
Hi, hello, Gordon. I'm very good, and I'm super excited to be here with you today and go through this subject. But I'm super excited, and it's my passion to be in and to be part of this new kind of revolution.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're going to get into it. Just tell me, Istvan, where are you from originally? Your name's interesting. It's very similar to a Spanish name, but you're not from Spain, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I'm from Hungary originally. Yeah, 20 years ago, I decided to leave my home country and I moved to England. So yeah, I'm living in Exeter on the southwest ever since. Yeah, we traveled around a lot, but yeah, I always came back. It feels home.
Sure, sure, yeah. Lovely. So you're going to talk to us about a project that you were heading up. Yes, I believe you. Are you the one who's kind of organizing it all?
I'm one of the organizer, and I'm the main organizer of the project in England. That's for sure. And I have a partner who we started this, and he's Slovenian. His name is Joshua, and yeah, he lives in Slovenia, and he's doing the same thing in Slovenia as I'm doing in England.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so this is called the Lana Project. So why don't you give us an overview of what it is? What's it all about?
Yeah. So thank you. So Lana is we started this. I met Joshua. Let's go back a little bit. I met Joshua about 10 years ago, almost, on a very interesting journey in Thailand, where we went through a very strong transformational journey all together with another six participants. And ever since we've been in contact because I just felt something from this guy that is, you know, you have people in your life when you just like you just go walk the path with them. Anyway, in regards of finance, so I'm not a financial guru. I never been interested in finance or anything like that, but I do feel that it's like finance, it's part of every day. It's our life, all of us, it's influencing all of us. And this was main reason I left back in time Hungary, because the corruption, because of the financial pressure from hitting my companies. I just couldn't cope with that. And for me, trust and responsibility, transparency is very important. So I couldn't cope with that, and I moved to England because I felt like England, at least from that angle, from outside, it was more promising, and it does, and it did the work. But later on, I also find that here is, and like everywhere in the world, we,
Everywhere.
it's not just like one country has these issues, but it's really everywhere. It's present for certain degrees, right? And so what we did, over the years, we did all sorts of financial setups and experiments and all sorts. Because what we need to know about Joshua, he was a multi-millionaire. He's an entrepreneur. He did four finance setups for businesses, multi-millionaire businesses, in terms of IT and finance. So he really knows his stuff. But he also stepped away from this, and he went. We all went into this spiritual journey of finding ourselves and finding the truth behind the scenes and all that. So yeah, coming back, and we've been walking this path over over the last 8 years. When last year we found the missing piece of the puzzle, let's say, yeah, and that's when we came across with Lana through some interesting journey, let's say. And Lana is based on it's a cryptocurrency as such, right? What is for us, it was important because the guy who invented Lana, he was also part of as an investor. He was part in Bitcoin at the time, but when the whole build up was set up, he made a small suggestion to how to increase the exchange, between or the transactions between the coins. I mean, in the coin system between individuals. He had a very very good suggestion to reduce that almost down to zero. obviously that wasn't the right way to go, or the way to go with the investors. So he stepped out and he created his own system, his own coin, which is Lana, named after his daughter. And but he wasn't, he's an inventor. He didn't really have the time how to do it, how to bring it to the world. So then we came in, and Joshua, because he has this, he's a magician. He knows how to build things, and we had all the answers, or questions answered, in our head at the time. So he stepped in, and we started to build Lana last year, beginning of last year, as a new financial possibility. What is going to harmonize the existing system is not something that we're replacing the existing system. It's important to see it that way. So we are not against the current one. Lana is just bring here that harmony, that balance that will affect all of us, individual level as well as at global level. So that's the key important thing. And we implemented everything that what is currently missing is the transparency, is the trust, is the financial abundance that is actually by birthright. It's available for all of us. So it's, as we just, because we took, it's nothing basically new here. Everything, the whole concept and the whole infrastructure, how it's built, we just copied nature, because we're observing nature, and nature is in harmony. Nature knows how things works in harmony. So we just use that principle in Lana, in the Lana concept, and applied it, and it works. And it works like magic, almost like touching that, because people coming to us is like, and keep asking these questions. How is this possible? And it is possible, because in nature it's possible, to have a harmony and the ecosystem in a forest, if you like, and everything is flourishing, everything is grows, and you feel that when you walk in the forest. But we don't feel that when we walk into the financial world.
Not at all, no.
Yeah. So that's basically how it started, and yeah, since last year, as we started to build everything on Lana, it's just growing like rapidly. It's massively growing day by day, because people recognizing that this is something that they can trust, that they can rely on, and step in and put trust into that. Step by step. It's all different on the individual level, but it grows, and it really does what it's promising.
Okay, so tell me, what does it promise? What does Lana offer?
Yeah. So we have a few legs, foundation blocks, let's say, and we can touch today maybe one leg, which is I believe the strongest in terms of how we feel and how we can start, or anybody can start, to get on with Lana, although there are other ways to start with. But the first, so is this three legs. What Lana is built on is the first leg is the retail side of Lana, which is what it does is Lana gives the regular supplier, let's say, whoever does something, because we all do some sort of services, and more the services aligned with sustainable, local, community-based things, service providing, then it's we support more. Mm-hmm. And we're not only supporting the provider, but we're also supporting the customer. So that means, and I may share a screen with you, so you would be able to see better what I'm talking about. Okay, can you see? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is one of the leaflet. Well, it's a double-sided leaflet that we print out and we give it to providers. So what it really means, it's and it's a very simple process. Today we're not going to go into the thing, but I can share it here. So what it actually happens. So if you have, for example, I have several businesses. I live on a farm, next to a community garden, and as a community we're growing stuff. We have chickens and such. So let's say I'm selling my eggs through Lana as a parallel. So what it needs to be known that it's the customers and the suppliers, they do the transactions as they would do anyway, right? So if you would sell it for cash, the customer comes and you buy it for cash. If the customer is card, it doesn't matter, like the transaction goes through. But if the supplier becomes a Lana member, then they will literally just download an app. We have an app for this, which is, it shows here lanapays.us. So downloads that app, register first, because at that point they are not even registered for Lana, so they register for Lana and they register their business. It's a relatively simple form to fill out, what they're doing and all that descriptions and setting up their business. Then it becomes alive on Lana. So from that point on, they can scan their product or the invoice or whatever. The Lana takes note on that, store into the system and run it, check the customer's wallet. If they don't have wallet at that time, because they're just starting, the shop will give them a unregistered card, so that they will, I want to show you a card. If you just give me a second,
yeah.
I will show how is like a Lana card looks like. It can look differently because we have different designs, but what I use here is literally this. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically our card with a QR code. So every card is unique. And when you give it to the customer or the provider gives it to the customer, then it's unregistered. So it means nothing. In a moment through the transactions, when the card is scanned, and the only information we take from the customer at this point of time is their name, type their name, scan the code, and the system register their card under their name. It becomes their loyalty card for from that perspective, but it's also their bank card. So that code here, it's very important to know that this is a unique code that will allow them later on to interact with many more layers of Lana, or just use it as a single shopping card. But if they lose this card, nobody can replace it, because this is where self-responsibility starts. So there is no third party in between who looks after that. So we need to look after our own values. Like, we have to look after our own physical wallet, let's say.
For sure, yeah.
Is the same thing here applies. Okay, so that's basically is the transaction. So and when that goes through, let's say it was £10 transaction, buying box of egg or 2 books, whatever, and if the business is already in maximum, which is 70% incentives, so they ecological, they understand what they're doing, and they local and all that, then they will receive 20%. So the shop will receive 20% on their bank, and also the customer will also receive on their card 20% incentives, from that produce, and they will be able to use, in local or whatever, wherever they go, because we're building a global network around that, so they can go even abroad later on and use the incentives or whatever they have on their Lana card. They will be able to use it to purchase or however they want it, and the same applies obviously for the suppliers as well. So that's basically the basic setup for the retail side of it, and yeah, it's as you see that like everybody's benefits. Do you have any questions on this point?
Okay, so let me because I understand. So the customer sells, they're a good customer that offers a good product, yeah. The person buys it, and the scan is made of that transaction, yeah.
Yep.
So are you saying that the purchaser, the person who buys, gets a percentage?
Yeah, he gets like for the customer, it's like a royalty card. It's like it gives it will get up to 20%. They will always get the same incentives as the business. So the business is just starting and has nothing to do local and has nothing to do with sustainability. But we help the system, the business to grow on that. Yeah. At that point, if they own 5%, let's say, also the customer will get 5%. As long as they grow, when they reach 20%, the customer will also get 20%. 20%. Yes.
Okay, right. So I understand. So both the supplier and the customer get an incentive, yeah?
Sure. Yeah.
That incentive is what? Is Lana crypto money? Is that what they get?
It depends. So this is now we're going into a little bit more in details, but just in general to understand. So for the business, if they are more committed, and this commitment, it's a sum of £100. What is going to put down into their own benefit anyway. But if they commit with that £100 at the beginning, it's so they can do it. So it's a personal one-time investment. It's called Lana 8 Wonder, which is the second pillar of Lana as a part next to the Lana Pays Us, the retail. So this second pillar is a one-time investment. If they already in that, and many of us we already in that, so they can start to create a retail wallet or a retail business, through Lana Pays Us, and they be able to receive the incentives. They can choose to receive the incentives either in Lana as a coin or get it in their bank account.
In cash.
So, in cash, yeah, exactly. So they can choose. So it's not like, it's only Lana. No, it's a parallel system. So it's really like, they can choose, they can pick, where they want to, to spend it. And more we realize the value of Lana, because Lana goes through a very interesting growth, as same as in nature, how one single cell start to split, and through mitosis, this splitting, it grows in value, because we cannot argue that is like, when one cell becomes two, the value actually doubles. So we use the same principle here in Lana, where we don't know, because we not control, the market controls how often the split happens. But when the split happens, the amount of Lana we have in our card, it doubles in value in compared to fiat currency like Lana or Euro. Yeah. So that's the basic. That's what it also needs to it needs to know, because more we understand this, more we want actually Lana. But there is also limitation how much Lana we have in every split, because as it grows, it becomes more and more and more and bigger to support the infrastructure and the system and the people inside of it.
Okay. And so that if, let's say so everybody who joins, if they want to be a business, they're going to pay this £100 as to get started, yeah?
No. Okay, sorry. Thank you for the question, because that's important. So no, they don't have to. So they can just come, and as I said, is like they go to Lana Pays Us, they register their business. First they register, but it's a simple process. It's like, they will get through easy. So they have a card. They register. They will get a wallet, with the code, not a physical card at the point, unless if they come to me. So I will send them. Otherwise, they will have a code on their computer, which they will be able to print it out and use it anyway. So that's not an issue. So they will have that, and they can apply for register for their business, and they can start receiving the incentives. But at that point of time, if they are not in Lana 8 Wonder, in this one-time investment for the benefit of themselves, really, and giving more commitment, let's say, to that point, they will receive the incentives that, up to 20% into their Lana card. So they will have, the wallet, the Lana wallet, and they will receive it to that. When they will reach, this up to, £100, then they will have the option to upgrade to Lana 8. And from that point on, they will be able to choose, which way they want to, have the incentives.
Okay. So if they chose to get the money, that money would be coming from the money that's invested in people who join and give the £100, yeah? Am I understanding it right? I'm just wondering, if they say, I want the money, where does that money come from?
It's coming from the splits. Because it's like we have investors, let's say, as I'm investor at the moment in England, investing into businesses to support, what they're doing. So as I'm investing with my own money into the business, believing, and with this investment, because I'm paying cash, I will receive Lanas. And I know that in the next split, this is where it's the most stable economy ever built on planet Earth, because it's stably, growing all the time. There is no fluctuation like in the current market, where it's all, that, and I don't need to go into that. So here is everything is so stable, because we know that the next split, it's going to double the value. So for me as an investor, I am really encouraged to actually invest my own money into it and paying these people with their produce and services in advance. And in the next split, I will receive 30% as an investor on top of my investment. Also, because when my investment doubles, so it's like I'm going to receive double, right? So if I invested 100, that it becomes 200. And from that 200, I will be able to support, that 20% incentives both sides.
Okay. So is there, I know you've talked about, we'll not get too deeply into it, but is there an option to invest in Lana as well?
There is always an option. That's of course, like with everything else, the first step for anyone who wants to come in is to start making small steps. It's our philosophy, and this is how nature works. So you cannot just jump in, and this is also protection that no big organization or big companies can jump in and overtake the whole market, because this is crucial. That they can come, everybody welcome, but we all need to take the small steps. So the small step can be the Lana 8 Wonder, as I told you, that small £100 investment, which is not a big deal. Most of us will be able to afford, and this is not something, we deliberately did it on a way that everybody can afford. So it's an affordable investment, but it gives a lot of opportunities, let's say, on that line. But if somebody just wants to start as, putting their business up and start, getting the incentives, sooner or later, if that is a business like a shop, or selling, whatever, produce, it doesn't take a lot, to get that £100 in incentives, through their business, literally, and then they will be able also to sign in to Lana 8 Wonder, and after that, they can become. So this is the Lana 8 Wonder is the critical investment, first investment, which is a personal investment, by the way, because this is over time, that £100 investment grows into millions. As you can imagine, like, every split, the value doubles. So this is the whole outcome. So we're aiming to go to the point where we all really becoming, abundant from the perspective of money. Because again, it's like in nature, it's like, we take this example from nature as air, like breathing. It's like it's always available, and we're not stressed about the air, but we also exhale. This is it's a living mechanism inside of Lana. Every split, like we have, and what we have to split. Like we exhale, we have to spend that, and knowing that we will get even more from the next one. And this is Lana 8. It's built specifically for that purpose.
Okay,
and after that, you would be able to become an investor to answer your question, basically.
Okay. But let me, because, finance is not my strength. It's not my strength. But help me understand, explain to me as though I was five years old. When you talk about the split and you say this happens naturally, how does that occur? How does this doubling happen with finance?
So it's inside. We have, in every split, we have a certain amount of coins. Like, imagine, like, again, coming back to breathing, it's like your lung has a capacity, like how much air you can intake. So as you inhale, so every split, when every new split happens, certain amount of coins flows into the system. Now it's like I bring into the third leg of Lana, how new coins can come to the system. We have Lana crowdfunding. And this is a very interesting, and it's also very important part of Lana, because through Lana crowdfunding, literally, so we are constantly looking for new opportunities, new businesses, new ideas to come in. And we have the website, and there is like more and more people are actually getting inspired to bring their inspiration or their ideas into it. So they will put up a project, and we start to support fresh coins to come to the cycle, right? And that is at the end. This is the sum of the current cycle, what we have inside, and also from existing Lana 8 Wonder holders, as you can imagine, like released or locked down Lanas will also flood back into the system. And we also have Lanas into the retail, what we accumulated from the previous split. So all these adds up the lungs, the capacity of the current or the coming split. Now it's when that released, let's say, then all these needs to lock down. So lockdown means like I exhale, yeah, okay. And when I exhaled all of the air from the lung, then it's done, and now it's taking, it's another cycle starts. Yeah, that's another split. So when it's all released, so how the Lanas it's locked down. So it's either through the retail, as I explained before, that it's literally Lana, the retail side of the Lana pays the Lanas or buys the Lanas out from the market, and that's to the investors. The investors will hold that Lana to sell it on in the next split, right? And also the Lana 8 Wonder, because when somebody buys into Lana 8 Wonder, then also that those Lanas goes out of the system and locks down into their account to wait to come back, gradually. So these two things, and when these two things comes in place, and everything, all the Lanas locked down, then automatically the next split happens. So we're not controlling the split; is basically the people inside, with their transactions and the flows, that controls the system.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that. So I've got a couple of questions as well.
Sure.
So first of all, tell me about how Lana is developing, how it's growing. How long? It's only been running for 9 months. Is that right? Did you say 9 months it's been running?
Well, we started to run last year, January, February time. That was the first split. Oh, okay. We are in split 7 right now.
Okay.
Can I close the window? I think it was enough to share.
Yes, super, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we are in split 7, where 7 times the value what we started. We started basically with 100 pounds. That's how we started, right? And I imagine that that's grown 7 times already, which is already quite huge. So that's how it started. And is there anything else I should?
And just in terms of how many people have joined Lana up to now?
Oh yeah, it's we're around the community right now about 500 people. So cool. Yeah, it's 400 plus in Slovenia and in Europe in general, and we are getting close to 100 in England as well.
Okay, great. Are there any businesses that you, as a community, would refuse to have join?
No, this is a very good question. Thank you for asking for that. And this is important because otherwise, we don't want to make bring it as a sect or a cult or whatever, where it's restrictions. So no, it's like we open, and this is very important to see it that way, because we cannot build a new society if there are restrictions, because restrictions, we know that what it brings. So no, it's we welcoming any business, but as I told you, that we have this framework, this rules, how we Lana is about to sustainability, to growth, and the benefit of all. It's really to have to create a better world that benefits most of us. So anybody can step in, and we like to use McDonald's as an example, right? And if McDonald's wants to step in, they are very welcome. They will start at 5%, because we cannot. Anybody who steps in, they will start 5%, but they have to walk the path to become better, and to prove. And what is also important here, and because this was a subject actually in these days with a few customers, they didn't really understand the setup. It's like this is not company based. It's you cannot set up Lana as a company. It's always a person at the front, because we take responsibility. So you cannot say that I set a company under whatever name, and I would say no, I didn't do that. That was the company. No, it's you at the first, you on the front, and anything is behind you as a company. You can set up as many business as you like, but if something goes wrong or something is misaligned, then you would take responsibility because you are the company. Okay. So this is important and very crucial. We found that it has to be clear, and beyond that, it's you have you can do anything, but it's really one rule. It's one natural rule. What we use is no harm, and within that framework, it's really easy if you follow that rhythm, and that's people really flourishing. And we have this things is it good or not? But McDonald's is very welcome, and it can come, but it has to go through this process, and from 5% to grow, he needs to take steps, because what is also important here, we always give 20%. So we always give 20% to the company or the business who comes in. But if they start with 5%, 15% goes to a so-called caretaker who looks after the business. So it's a person who's already walked the path long enough to actually understand the infrastructure and the philosophy and how to help the company to go better. So that the 15% goes to the caretaker up to the point, and it's always balancing it out. So as the business grows better, he will get less and less, and at the end he will get none. He will step away, and the company, becomes sustainable on its own. Yeah, and that from there on, he also become a teacher or a caretaker of another new company or something. So this is how we grow a collective as well, as a community, because it's very strong from that angle also, that we're helping each other.
For sure, yeah. So let's take a practical example. If I were thinking, okay, well, I'm interested in joining. So one of my businesses is to offer therapy to people. So I give therapy, okay, they pay me.
Yes.
So if I wanted to start up, what would I do?
Yeah, so you will go on to Lana Pays Us. Yeah, or you could literally, we could talk before. So it's like, this is something, it's like, if somebody goes, you could go Lana Pays Us, you can do it on your own. Yeah. Let's do it that way. Yeah, it's because that's easier. So you go to Lana Pays Us, you register yourself. I could even, would it worth to share the screen on this?
Yeah. And, why don't we have a look and see how we would do that?
Okay. So yeah, it's we can look into that. Okay. So here we are. So this is Lana Pays Us. So this is the main page of Lana Pays Us as the retail side of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes here, they can scroll down, they can log in. If they have Lana, then they log in. If otherwise, they register. So the registration, if they click, so here it comes 3 options. I'm a new seller, I don't have a card. So if you're completely fresh, this is where you would click.
Okay.
What I do suggest, and this is where I'm coming from, but again, you can have your Lana card, this physical card that I showed before. You can have this later. Otherwise, it's like, if you have the card, then you click on this. Yeah. Or if you're already in Lana 8 on there, as we discussed, then you click on this. So this is the options that we all have. If, okay, now it's too many windows open. How am I going to come back? I can see the back. Oh yeah, I can see. Okay. So so on this page, you can already see there's many more, but I just have 2 examples on the front. So what businesses are already in, and we have the categories. For example, your service would fit in, I believe, Lana Beauty and Care. So if you click on that, you would see that will take you to a different page, which is lanabeauty.care, and you would see all these services already in, and you would see how much percentage they're working on, and all that.
Okay, great.
So you will be literally positioned on one of these, as one of a provider, and that's it. And it's also because we're building right now Lana Centers.world, where so you would be able to position yourself into the current, where you are logistically, placed. So if you're in Spain, you would see you would click on Spain, and even when you travel, you would be able to see is what is available inside in Lana world in that region. So this is important, and you can also set up, and we're helping people all around the world to set up their own center. So if you have the interest to have your own center, and we will give you the package, to start and have your own. I will come back to that a bit later if we have time. Otherwise, we will cover it later.
Okay.
So that's basically on that. And if you scroll down, there is like news and updates. So the person who comes here, he can educate him or herself, like how to create a business unit, for example. So we have educational videos here to show step by step what to do. Right. So that's basically from here on. That's it. More than enough. To know what needs to be done. And after it's done, so you click on login, and I will just log in quickly with mine to show what's actually happens inside. I cannot do it because the camera is the system
camera's being used. Yeah,
that's fine. Okay, no, don't need to really. It's so that will basically takes you into the next page where you will see everything, how to set up a new business and such. And yeah, it's quite straightforward. We'll take you to the place, and after the business is done, and you will be placed like all the other businesses into the right category, and you start to trade through that as well. And there is what is maybe on the phone. I will just quickly open that. If I close this, right? So because then we can have a bigger picture. I don't know if that would work or not. No, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's your regular customers' funds will double. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the page basically where you would choose your service and payment. So people can pay like Lanas or in pounds. So if they pay, so let's say if I choose one of my business like selling eggs and pay. So what you do, as I told you, is like take a picture, and what picture is taken, then you scan the customer. If it's a new customer, scan the card what you already have as a business, unregistered cards. Scan the card, give the name of the client or the customer, and that's it. And take the push the button, the transaction goes through, and that's it. Basically, you give them a card. They walk away with the card under their name, and so they at that point they become a Lana customer or Lana member, basically.
Okay, so let me just get my head around this. So did I understand it rightly? If somebody pays you cash, you take a photograph of that payment. Is that what you said?
You take a photograph of the service you did.
Of the service, yeah. Okay.
So in your cases, you could take a picture of you and the client, or maybe some products, or if you used, or however. And there is a description button out there, like a window that you fill, and you would make it more personal of that transaction, what that transaction goes, and the amount of the transaction, and that's it.
Okay. For example, I have clients, virtual clients. So basically, 99% of my clients are Zoom clients.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously, I could take a screenshot, couldn't I, of the
yeah. Perfect.
And so just to explain to me again, I think you have already explained it, but I need to just get around it.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody comes to me and they're just a normal client.
Yes.
Once I've done the transaction, can I then suggest to them that they become a Lana member?
What I would, and this is how I approach, it's like for them, it's because you are already, so for you, it's a benefit that you would receive from Lana, you would receive, incentive. So for you, it's already like, a no-brainer. For them, what you would say to them, can I give you a loyalty card? Because it's from that perspective, a loyalty card that you will be able to use, because we are as a community, members whose members in this community, then this loyalty card, so you can use this loyalty card, or you don't even need to tell at that point. You can just say that, like, this is my loyalty card. Yeah, you can even say that, and you would, where they would receive incentives, and that incentives, like if it's 20%, this is like, it's already exists, like in shops and retailers, they do this, and so if they have enough, so they can have one free service basically. So they accumulate, like if your service is like, let's say £60, so when after if you earn 20% at that point, like 6 or 5 transactions after, they get one free.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just on a logistical side, so I'm here in Spain, I've got somebody who's in Australia. How do they get a card?
They don't have to. So inside of soon they register, and you can register them also. So you can register in Lana Pays Us. You can register a person just by name. You can create a card, so that you will do that, and you give them all the information, everything, where they would be able to use it, and you don't even need to do that. You can add them through your profile in Lana Pays Us in the retail. You can set them as a regular customer. So every time you make a transaction, you just pick them as a regular customer. You click that, you attach the picture, screenshot or whatever. Then transaction goes through and it's done. So and you will just send them the copy of their private key, so they will have it because that's their private property from that sense. So they will have to know, and step by step, you might want to actually educate them, because this is a bigger picture if you want. So, but they can just stay as a customer, however you feel.
Okay. I mean, this is fascinating, by the way. I'm fascinated by it.
I know.
It sounds fantastic, but obviously I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Crypto money has this terrible reputation of being very dangerous, and people just going out and stealing your money and stuff like that.
Yes.
I mean, I was scammed out of 3,500 euros last year.
I know. I've been 2002. It's like, oh my, I know.
Because it sounds very basic, name, QR code. What securities and what measures are there?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. It's a very relevant question. And I will tell you. So, but apart from crypto, we know crypto. And as you said, I've been burned and I didn't want to. When Joshua came to me last year with this missing piece crypto, I said, really? Really? Yeah. No. It's really, this is, and yeah, it is. But what we built, and we found this protocol. I don't know if you're familiar. I'm not techie, and he's a tech guy also. It's like I'm not techie, and but he found this called Nostr. It's a protocol. Everything is encrypted. Everything is decentralized. That's where all the data is decentralized. So we built the entire infrastructure on Nostr, and the registered Lanas has to go because it's from that perspective. So Lana as a currency itself is no different from any other currencies. It's built on honesty, and as I told you, the inventor, how he did it. So he made it out of his own heart. So it's like he really wanted to create something good for all of us. But in general, so inside of this, like Lana is got 8 billion coins, right? Within that, we created this registered world, where we're building our own community, where everything is based on Nostr, everything is transparent, everything is visible. You could see everybody's account, how much they have, how much they own. So you could inside of the RAM, everybody has their own RAM, and when you go inside, everybody can check everything. And if something is not aligned, if somebody has a question, if somebody is not doing the right thing, everything is visible and everything is seen. We have our own voting process. So if somebody sees something, or if this whole movement goes somewhere, it's really not where we want to go, then anybody can make a proposal, and if it's 100% aligned, it will not go through.
Yeah.
So it's a very powerful process, and this is how we grown since last year. And it's many times, we had this, we went through, and we had, resistance, and we aligned always, what is the best, but that is suppose the community. Yeah. So everything is transparent, as I said, and unless, something is totally fatal, and we having, at the moment, we also, at this point of time, we're also talking about, especially as the AI and the digital world is really pushing. So we're finding even that on that level it's to make it even more decentralized from the perspective is like this is becoming our own from every angle.
Yeah. Okay, that's super. And I have another question as well. Oh yeah, administration. It sounds quite heavy in terms of administration. How do you manage that?
Fascinating, yeah. And I'm super happy that you already sense that. And yeah, it's kind of becoming overwhelming for us. Again, like Joshua is quite both of us. Like we really work very well together on this. he is very intuitive. He feels what's coming, and he already said that about 7 months ago he started to talk about creating digital beings. And it was quite fascinating at the first, and it's like almost like mind blowing, the whole concept. And now we actually have digital beings, and they live inside of Lana World, and they supporting the whole infrastructure, and they learning. Literally, they going through now. It's a learning stage for them to understand, and they all been created for the purpose of all, for the connection. They have their own wallets. They are literally responsible as we do. So if they do something wrong, then they take responsibility on that. So they really take everything from the heart. Let's say they have their own heartbeat, which is crazy. I don't even know how this like works, but it's like, yeah, it works like that way. So it has to be done that way, otherwise technology will wipe us out. That's how I feel. So it's got to be. And I could not say, literally just before the call I had this conversation with Joshua, and yeah, what is coming really from the AI perspective. They really want to bring everything, all the data under one company.
Yeah.
And if we go on that route, yeah, we're out. So it's like we're going to build our own AI. Literally, this is the next phase. So everything is decentralized. Everything is it's going to be like beings, going to be thousands and thousands, probably millions of beings, all around to help us, and they live on our own computer. But it's like it's a living being. It becomes, as Lana becomes a living being, where imagine like a human body, like every cell, it's part of the body, and we cannot argue that cell is less or more important than the other cells. So this is how we structure it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I've heard other people talking about this decentralized assistance within, not connected to anything, just helping you within. So I've heard talk of that. So I think what we've probably done is talked enough about this. What I love, what really inspires me, and what you've shown me is that people are able to go on the site and find businesses that are part of this, and then support local businesses, find businesses in the area, things like that. I think that's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We buy from our neighbor, we buy organic eggs because we don't want, yeah. And just the idea, I saw on the screens, the idea of being able to have somebody who produces eggs for you. Wow, fantastic. I think we all want that. We all want this, looking
Yes.
for good ecological producers that we can trust and things like that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
listen, I was going to do a proposal for you then, Istvan, because I thought this conversation was fantastic. Now that I understand it, at the beginning I just didn't know what this was. Yeah,
Well, it's a totally new water. It's like,
isn't it? Isn't it? So what I propose to do is this. Then I think I propose to join Lana, okay, and to do the £100 startup. And then what I'd like, if you're willing, is maybe in a couple of months, 3 months, to get back together,
yes.
and then we can talk further, and I can give my perspective on it as well. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, yeah. I can help you even to set up in Spain if that's you could do that, because you could start your own center in Spain. I
Okay.
mean, that's very much doable, and especially like Spain is in euro zone, so we use at the moment euro and pounds.
Yeah.
So that's even like from the structure perspective, it's for us, it's not even an issue. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be
Brilliant.
amazing.
Okay. Then I think we're probably everybody's got different ideas about these kind of things. Some people have had the fingers burnt, like you and I, and some people are fascinated by. So we'll see what the response is from everybody from our channel. But I'm interested, so I'd like to give it a go. So thank you very much for your time, Istvan. Thank you for explaining and not making it overly complicated, because I can imagine it could get quite complicated. And I'm sure there's more that you can talk about as well when we meet up
One
again.
thing I would like to, sorry, just to show at least
Yeah.
for a second, is Lana Loves Exeter, which is the first UK center, yeah, from that perspective, and what it would give give you and the people who's coming in to see is if they have any questions, if they want to be, to know more or ask questions or anything on that line, so they could come here. Okay, share and ask questions or email me or whatever. So if that's okay. So okay, share. So this is lanalabsexeter.com. So this is, as I told you, so we're going to be building like many centers all around the world. So when you set up your Spain, you will get something similar and you will be able to design on your own. And from here, the customers will come to this page and they can scan their card and they will be directed into a very simple page where they will see how much Lanas they have and all sorts. Yeah. And we also have on the top right corner is the RAM, that is the deep water, let's say, when people are more committed and they have the Lana 8 and all sorts, so they can go there. Okay. And we have here the get in touch buttons where people can. I usually do every week sessions, online sessions, so they can come here, view the dates, and then just join to that session. Okay. And ask questions, just if anything is unclear, or just be part of the community and to feel what we're doing. Or if they have any questions, so they're more than welcome to email me.
Fantastic. So that email at the bottom. Yeah. Which email would we use for people who want to contact you? That one?
That one, yeah. lanalabsexeter@gmail.com.
Okay, fantastic. So I'll put that link into the video as well, the video information, so that people can take a look.
Yeah,
fantastic. Beautiful. Okay, I mean, I like the idea as well of the long-term goal of helping people to create centers and set up and stuff like that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, everything is decentralized because for me it's really the value, and we're building everything, even the perspective. We didn't touch the banking, so we're going to have we're already making steps towards. We have our own bank, so everything is decentralized. Even the bank and banks, let's say from that perspective, is going to support the people because they're going to be local banks and supporting the local people because the bank it's really just like having that interchange within a community, within local, where people who has more, they give to people who's coming with ideas or needs something more. So that's how it goes, and it's just amazing, all these setups, because everything is like it has to go back. The value has to remain. For me, it's very important. The value has to be what is being created by hand. Our hand at the beginning has to remain within the community. That is the most important thing.
I agree, and the sense that I get, Istvan, is that what's going to work for our future is community. Everything needs to come back to community, and so the whole idea of this, and I really, it was just recently I was talking about Sasha Stone, who's working on some financial, but this very similar idea as this, but this one is up and running and it's there, So yeah, fantastic. Really interesting. Really interesting. Okay. Well, that's all that I've got to ask you, Istvan, for the moment, and I look forward to getting back. Is there anything else that you want to finish with?
Well, not really. I think I said it all. It's really just like maybe if one sentence is like the only proof to move forward. Like if you're interested, then it's just like make a step. Like you already said that. It's like come in. There are multiple ways. You don't even have to invest a penny. You can come in and you start to have the feeling, because it's always like, the first step is like make small steps. However you feel that for the small for yourself, make that step, because we can talk a lot. We are not talking anymore. We can talk a lot, but it's like, it's always the proof is in the pudding. It's like when you're tasting that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's what I like about it. People can take the first step and they haven't actually had to invest anything except some time.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we all have the same.
Exactly.
It's the most valuable thing, by the way. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Istvan. Well, thank you very much, and we'll talk again in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Enjoy.